Volkswagen, one of the world's most recognized car manufacturers, built its reputation on engineering excellence, efficiency, and environmental responsibility. For decades, the German automaker was celebrated for producing vehicles that were not only reliable but also eco-friendly. Yet, behind the polished image and innovative marketing lay a scandal so massive it would shake the automotive industry, disrupt global trust, and expose the dark side of corporate ambition. Today, we dive deep into the Volkswagen emissions scandal, the fraud that shocked the world and left millions questioning the true cost of innovation. But the most disturbing part? What the public never learned about this scandal is far more shocking than the fraud itself. Stay with me until the end, because the final revelation exposes the truth Volkswagen tried to bury forever. The roots of Volkswagen's success stretch back to the 20th century. Founded in 1937, the company quickly grew into a symbol of German engineering prowess. By the early 2000s, Volkswagen had expanded globally, producing millions of vehicles across multiple brands, including Audi, Porsche, and Bentley. Environmental concerns were rising, and Volkswagen positioned itself as a pioneer in producing cleaner, more fuel-efficient cars. Their Clean Diesel campaign promised eco-friendly performance, appealing to environmentally conscious consumers while reinforcing the company's reputation as a responsible industry leader. But behind this green image stood one man whose ambition shaped the entire scandal: Martin Winterkorn. A CEO known for perfectionism so intense that engineers feared disappointing him. And in Volkswagen's corridors, failure wasn't an option. Deception was. But beneath the surface, pressures were mounting. The automotive industry is fiercely competitive, and emission standards, particularly in the United States and Europe, were becoming stricter. Volkswagen's engineers faced the challenge of meeting these regulations while maintaining performance, fuel efficiency, and cost-effectiveness. Rather than investing in long-term solutions, the company resorted to deception, installing defeat devices in diesel engines. These software systems could detect when a vehicle was undergoing emissions testing and temporarily reduce emissions to meet legal standards, while in real-world driving conditions, the cars emitted nitrogen oxide pollutants at levels up to 40 times higher than allowed. And this is where the scandal turns from unethical to downright criminal. Because what engineers couldn't achieve legally, the software did secretly. And Volkswagen knew most consumers would never question the numbers. But this was only the beginning. What investigators uncovered next was even worse. The scandal came to light in 2015, when independent testing by researchers at West Virginia University revealed discrepancies between laboratory and on-road emissions levels. The discovery triggered a chain reaction. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, issued a notice of violation. Regulators in Europe launched investigations, and media coverage spread worldwide. The public was shocked. Volkswagen, the company that had marketed itself as environmentally conscious, was now exposed as a global fraudster, deceiving customers, regulators, and governments. Because when a green hero becomes a global villain overnight, the world begins to question everything. Volkswagen's deception was not minor, it was systematic. Internal communications, leaked documents, and testimonies revealed that top executives were aware of the defeat devices, or at least turned a blind eye to their implementation. Engineers and managers across multiple levels participated in creating and maintaining the system. This was not a rogue operation. It was a coordinated effort to prioritize corporate image, sales, and profits over legal compliance and environmental responsibility. And here's what the public didn't know. The software was updated multiple times, not to fix the fraud, but to make it harder to detect. That's not negligence. That's corporate warfare. Before we go deeper, make sure you subscribe, because the next part reveals the one detail about this scandal Volkswagen hoped you'd never hear. The financial repercussions were immense. Volkswagen faced billions of dollars in fines, penalties, and settlements. Lawsuits from customers, investors, and governments poured in across the globe. In the United States alone, the company agreed to pay over $25 billion to resolve claims related to the scandal. Executives resigned, criminal charges were filed, and reputational damage was severe. The emissions fraud became a cautionary tale of how corporate deception, even by a well-respected company, can have monumental consequences. Because the cost of lying isn't counted in dollars, it's counted in trust destroyed. Beyond the financial impact, the Volkswagen scandal had profound environmental and public health implications. Diesel vehicles equipped with defeat devices emitted nitrogen oxides, pollutants linked to respiratory diseases, environmental degradation, and smog. Millions of vehicles on the road contributed to air pollution far beyond legal limits, exposing communities to harmful chemicals, while Volkswagen profited from its deception. This wasn't just a corporate scandal, it was a public health betrayal. Volkswagen's scandal also sparked global regulatory changes. Governments introduced stricter testing protocols, real-world emissions measurements, and tighter oversight of automotive compliance. The scandal exposed flaws in previous testing methods that allowed companies to manipulate results. And for the first time, regulators realized they weren't testing cars. They were testing software designed to fool them. The human stories behind the scandal are equally striking. Engineers who raised concerns about the defeat devices were often ignored, pressured, or marginalized. Whistleblowers risked their careers to expose wrongdoing. Consumers felt betrayed, because nothing spreads faster than the feeling of being lied to, especially when the liar is a company you trusted. Volkswagen's leadership also faced scrutiny. CEO Martin Winterkorn resigned shortly after the scandal became public, acknowledging that the company had broken the trust of our customers and the public. But what he didn't say publicly was how long the warnings had been ignored internally. This wasn't a mistake, it was a culture. And just when investigators thought they understood the full scale, a final discovery revealed something far more disturbing. The emissions fraud also had ripple effects across the automotive industry. Competitors faced increased scrutiny, regulatory agencies implemented stricter oversight, and consumer trust in diesel vehicles declined sharply. The scandal accelerated the shift toward electric vehicles and cleaner technologies. Volkswagen didn't just destroy its own reputation, it changed the future of the entire industry. The Volkswagen emissions scandal teaches multiple lessons about corporate governance, ethics, and accountability. It shows how deception at scale requires systemic complicity and how corporate culture shapes behavior. Despite reforms, the scandal remains a reminder that when ambition eclipses ethics, the consequences are global. Volkswagen's emissions fraud was more than a corporate scandal. It was a global wake-up call. It revealed how ambition, pressure, and unethical decisions can create consequences that span continents, affect millions of people, and alter entire industries. And here's the part almost nobody knows. Even after the scandal broke, some markets continued selling affected cars for months, long after Volkswagen claimed the fraud had stopped. Because when the truth threatens billions, the truth becomes optional. This was wealth Nexus, where we expose the hidden empires shaping your financial reality. Subscribe, because our next investigation exposes a scandal even more dangerous than Volkswagen. And it's still happening today.